Please. Don't die. Single dad saves billionaire in crash, then vanishes without a trace. The sound of twisting metal tore through the bright afternoon like a scream, echoing across the open highway as two cars spun out of control under the blazing daytime sun. Dust rose into the air, birds scattered from nearby trees, and for a few terrifying seconds, the world seemed to hold its breath. In the wreckage of a luxury black sedan lay a man whose name ruled headlines and boardrooms alike, a billionaire whose life was measured in numbers most people could never imagine. And kneeling beside him, bleeding and trembling, was a single father with nothing but his hands, his heart, and a desperate prayer repeating in his mind, "Please, don't die." If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of ordinary people to change lives, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel One Heart Stories. Your support helps keep stories like this alive. The single father's name was Elias Moreno, a 37-year-old warehouse worker with tired eyes and a face shaped by long days and longer worries. That afternoon, he had been driving home from a school meeting about his 9-year-old daughter Sophia, his thoughts heavy with bills, deadlines, and the quiet fear of failing the only person who depended on him. His old car skidded when another vehicle cut sharply across lanes, and in seconds, everything shattered into chaos. When the dust settled, Elias pulled himself from the wreck, ignoring the pain in his ribs, guided by instinct rather than reason. The luxury sedan nearby was crushed at the front, steam hissing from the hood. Inside was Victor Harlan, 56 years old, silver-haired, impeccably dressed even in disaster, unconscious and trapped by twisted metal. The billionaire's face was pale, his breathing shallow. Elias did not know the man's name, his wealth, or his influence. He only saw another human being slipping away under the open sky. With shaking hands, he tore at the wreckage, shouting for help that felt too small for the moment, using every ounce of strength his exhausted body had left. Time stretched painfully. Elias pressed against the door, braced his feet on the asphalt, and pulled until his muscles screamed. Blood ran down his arms, mixing with dust and sweat, but he refused to stop. He thought of Sophia waiting at home, of her laugh, of her small hands holding his after school. He thought of how life could vanish in a heartbeat. When the door finally gave way, Elias reached inside, stabilized the man's head, and kept him breathing until sirens cut through the air like salvation. By the time emergency crews arrived, Elias was swaying on his feet, his vision dimming. Paramedics rushed Victor Harlan onto a stretcher, calling out vitals, while police tried to ask Elias questions he barely heard. Before anyone could stop him, Elias slipped away, driven by fear and necessity. His car was ruined, his body injured, and his life could not afford hospital bills or legal complications. He walked miles under the afternoon sun, every step a reminder that doing the right thing did not always come with safety or reward. Days turned into weeks. News outlets praised the miraculous survival of Victor Harlan, calling it a miracle, an unexplained stroke of luck. Investigators searched for the unknown hero who saved him, but Elias Moreno vanished into the background of the city, returning to long shifts, aching bones, and quiet dinners with his daughter. He said nothing about the crash, not even when the pain in his chest kept him awake at night. To Sophia, he was just dad, a little more tired than usual, a little more distant, but still present. Meanwhile, Victor Harlan lay in a hospital room flooded with daylight, staring at the ceiling as life rearranged itself inside him. For the first time in decades, money had not saved him. A stranger had. The knowledge haunted him. He ordered private investigators, reviewed traffic footage, followed every lead. He wanted to look the man in the eyes who had chosen compassion over self-preservation. Months later, fate intervened quietly. Victor visited a community center during a daytime charity event, an obligation he once would have rushed through. There, he noticed a man lifting boxes, his posture familiar, his face marked by the same quiet resolve he remembered through the blur of pain and fear. Elias froze when their eyes met. Recognition passed between them like electricity. Victor learned everything in that moment. He learned about Sophia, about the nights Elias skipped meals so she could eat better, about the dreams Elias buried to survive. And Elias learned that the man he saved was not just a billionaire, but someone who had been given a second chance and wanted to be worthy of it. Victor did not offer charity. He offered opportunity. He paid Elias's medical debts, secured a safer job with flexible hours, and funded Sophia's education anonymously at first, until pride gave way to gratitude. More importantly, he showed up. He listened. He learned what it meant to be human beyond numbers and deals. Just before the ending of this story, take a moment to comment below and tell us where you are watching from and what kindness means to you. Years later, on a sunny afternoon, Elias watched Sophia run across a school courtyard, her future wide and bright. Victor stood nearby, no longer just a name in the news, but a man changed by a single act of courage on an ordinary day. Some heroes disappear without applause. Some miracles happen quietly. And sometimes, saving a life saves two. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and comment to support One Heart Stories. Your engagement helps spread hope, one story at a time.